Framework analysis is the sixth qualitative data analysis that I'm talking about today. And what is framework analysis? What does it do? What does it talk about? What is it all about? Framework analysis involves a systematic approach to qualitative data analysis using a structured matrix. It is particularly useful for policy research and other applied fields where a structured approach is beneficial. And one of those I can actually mention is that framework analysis is very useful in media studies. It is commonly and widely used there. And our very own Dr. Mringa is an expert in framework analysis. There are 5 steps that are involved in framework analysis. The first one is familiarization. The second one is identifying a thematic framework. The third one is indexing. The fourth one is charting. The fifth one is mapping and interpretation. So from these fifth, let's get right into understanding the first step, which is familiarization. Whenever you've gathered your data, it might be your transcripts or even your news articles or anything. What you need to do is immerse yourself in that data by reading the transcripts or the notes. Get to understand the key details, get to understand the various aspects that are being brought about in that study. And when you have done that, the second you get into the second aspect, which is identifying a thematic framework. When identifying the thematic framework, you develop codes for the framework based on the key themes and the concepts. It's similar to when we explained what happens when you are doing thematic analysis. So obviously, before you start framing, the key aspects is to develop identify the key themes, code them, and establish those key themes, the key concepts, and put them together. And then you do what we call indexing. That is applying the coding framework to the data. And then you get to the next step, which is charting. That is summarizing the data by themes in a matrix. So you develop a matrix table whereby you begin to chart or presenting like the charts that we all know. We know that what a chart is all about. So that's what you begin to do. You start organizing your themes in a matrix so that it becomes easier to follow that this theme is identifying, it presents these different kinds of views and perspectives. It presents these different kinds of ideas and arguments that are existing in this particular article or that are existing in this particular set of data. And then the last thing is mapping and interpretation. Then this would involve analyzing the data within the matrix to identify patterns and draw conclusions. So for example, in a study evaluating the implementation of a healthy policy framework, framework analysis might involve coding interview data based on themes such as policy awareness, implementation challenges, and outcomes, and then mapping these themes to assess the policy's effectiveness.